Morning all, Wiggle here, updating you on the wood stove installation. Alright, there it is. Timberline stove, black pipe going up that far and then switching over to that triple wall stainless or whatever it is. Good stuff. So what I did here is I had some problem with the baffle. I wanted to share this with you. They were frozen. They're not frozen now. This one had all the fins broken off by the previous owner or whoever. They were trying to unstick it. That's probably why they got rid of this thing. They couldn't get these baffles open. And then you have to run it with the door open and you're losing all your efficiency. You need to seal these stoves up tight and control the air so you can burn a little wood and get as much heat as possible. Without those baffles, it's not going to work. So what I did, PB Blaster overnight, sprayed it around all the surfaces and especially the bolt, inside, outside. I got myself a medium-sized pipe wrench. Got it on there, just barely. It was barely wide enough. And I just hit it with a hammer until I got it to move. I did chew it up a little bit. It's just aluminum, or cast aluminum or something. I did chew it up, but had to do something. There was not much to grab, and grabbing that last fin was not what I wanted to do and snap that off. So, I now have a fully functional stove, which is very cool. So, you may need to know that trick, and I don't know if you can buy new baffles or not. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Looks like, as long as they're flat on the back, they could be a little wider or whatever. You might be able to get different brands, or I think the thread is all that matters, but then you'd have to be able to get that bolt off. Might have to cut that bolt off, considering it's been in that firebox all those years. But for now, I'm just leaving this, so that's good. So we did a test fire yesterday. It was drafting just fine. So that's all good news. I still got to go get a cap on it and all that, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I should have showed you that adventure yesterday, but I'll show you that adventure today. Let it warm up. It's up there in the snow. On the backside, snow hasn't melted off, so that was interesting. So once I get the rest of the top stack on it, I will fire it back up, warm it up in here. I did have some clearance issues, so I put some fire bricks, and I'm going to put some metal in also, especially along that piece right there. Just a piece of metal to deflect. I'll try to not let the metal touch as very little of the wood as possible. I put some bolts behind, like spacers, then screw it in, and then that way the piece of metal will be getting hot, but it won't be transferring the heat to the wood. So I think that'll be fine. We shall see. And that triple wall, that stuff doesn't get that hot. But I'll make sure I've got good clearance. It's pretty decent clearance as it is. And hopefully I've addressed the leak up there, so we'll see. But I'll probably put some metal along that header there, whatever you want to call it, purlin, girder, whatever. So there's a little bit of a clearance issue, but really that triple wall does not get that hot. But you can see my clearance. So I will work on that a little bit. So that's where we're at. I'll get up on the roof and show you what we're looking at when I get up there. I'm also going to put some safety rails in. It's old wrought iron gate. You can get these at the box stores. So we're going to install something like that, just for safety's sake. So I'll update you when we get some rails up. Also have to rebuild this. I got termites that came in here one year and ate all my oak. I was surprised by that. So Gotta rebuild that back rail. Anyway, we are getting it cleaned up in here. Looking forward to getting that chimney on and firing up this old beast and see how warm we can get it in here. Need to get a thermometer and check the temperature, see where we get from here to there. Alright, so onward and upward to the next project here. Putting in this gas line. So I'll show you how that goes. Wiggle here. Getting ready for the meeting today. And it's a lot less impressive today. But when this was all covered with snow, this was a hazardous, dangerous, kill you kind of situation. So I didn't get to add the production value at that point. But here's my chimney. Here's the contraption I was using. Oh, as I slip. There's your production value. Risking life and limb, because if you start sliding on the metal roof, you're going off. There's nothing going to stop you. This muddy shoes will do it to you. So anyway, I had tied off to my truck down there, and this was my lifeline. Tied it to this ladder. Then I had this ladder dangling down, hanging on that little chimney cap. As I slide again, even mud on your shoes will get you. Sure. So I'm just rounding this stuff up. I got to unloosen this rope. We're going to move Big Red out of in front of the building. I can't get Big Red to start. Something in electronics. So I think it's probably a neutral safety switch, but unknown. Could be a starter. Could be both. Anyway, here's my beautiful stainless chimney. It looks crooked here, but it looks straight from the ground, the cap. Yeah, the pipe's in a little crooked and took a little rigging. I still got to get a collar. It's not going to leak much though. It's pretty tight, pretty stuck in there. Could probably silicone it, but I'll put a collar on it and silicone it. But there's good stuff here, and I got it up above the ridge, so we got a good draft going. So I'll show you when we move Big Red here in a minute.